everyone. It's Dr. C, and I want to give you this brief overview of the social work program. So first, I want to cover a little bit about competency-based education. We're going to talk about what is social work. We're going to review the department mission. I'm going to go over our Council of Social Work Education's educational standards, and I'm going to briefly go over our SWO curriculum, and then if we have time, I will go over how to access the website. So what you need to know first is that the primary mission of social work is to enhance human well-being, to help meet the basic human needs of all people, and then to actually pay attention to the needs and empowerment of people who are really vulnerable, who are oppressed, and who are living in poverty. Okay. And so what you need to understand is that this is the basics of social work. And I know each and every one of you came to social work for a different reason. But your mission from here on out is to enhance human well-being, to help meet the basic human needs of all people with a particular attention to the needs and empowerment of people who are vulnerable, oppressed, and living in poverty. So you're here because you are going to get your bachelor's degree in social work. So it's the BSW. This prepares you for generalist practice, and we'll go over that definition in a little bit. And it will allow you to be eligible for advanced standing for your MSW. What does that mean? Well, if you complete your bachelor's degree within a certain time frame, you can actually take 1 year off of your education in your master's program. So for example, I got my undergrad degree in social work at Pitt. My master's degree at the University of Illinois only took me less than 12 months, okay? That's what advanced standing means. Now, if you graduate from your bachelor's today and then decide to go into practice and not go back to work or not go back to grad school for years, you may actually lose that advanced standing. That depends on how much time has passed and what each program is willing to accept. So I think here at Brockport, our advanced standing is about 6 years. That tends to be the national average. There are some schools out there that will only, accept your advanced standing for 4 years, okay? So this is just something to keep in mind. Now, what can you do as a generalist social worker? You can do a lot. A lot of social workers at the undergrad level are employed as case managers, program coordinators, those kind of things. There is no bachelor's level licensure, especially here in New York. There are some states that are moving to like a undergrad generalist kind of like credentialing, but it's not licensed. And even if it was licensed, there is no transferring that license to other states, okay? Now, a master's degree is different. Master's of social work actually prepares you for more advanced practice. And that's what's going to make you eligible for licensure if you have passed your licensure exam and you have met the supervision requirement. Right now, I forget off the top of my head what it is, like 3,000 hours or something like that, okay? So can you be a social worker without a master's degree? Absolutely. Can you be a licensed private practitioner without a master's degree? No, you cannot. Okay. I had a bachelor's in social work, a master's in social work. I had a general license. And so in Pennsylvania, you can either have your LCSW or your LSW, and mine was an LSW. Here in New York, I do believe it's very similar, except I don't think they call the LSW the same thing that Pennsylvania did, okay? So why did I have an LSW and not an LCSW? Well, I was employed by a grant, and my grant requirements did not require me to actually bill. And so there was technically no need for me to have the clinical license. My work was actually what we call advanced generalist medical practice. I know it's a fancy word. And it actually didn't need licensing at all. But my employer didn't have an LCSW to supervise me. She had an LSW. So she couldn't be my supervisor. And if I wanted to get supervision to count for an LCSW, I would have to have paid somebody else to supervise me in addition to my supervisor. So it was complicated. And I just decided to stick with an LSW. Okay? That was way too much information. Now let's talk a little bit about our program here. So you are in the undergrad program. We abbreviate that SWO. We also have a grad program. That's abbreviated SWK. That grad program is not located on main campus. It is downtown at the REOC, and most of the classes in the grad program are face-to-face except for the summer courses. So keep that in mind. Now, in our undergrad program this year, we have a daytime seated cohort and we have an online cohort. If you're watching this video, you should be in the online cohort. Okay. The master's program is 36 credits for advanced standing, 60 for students who don't get advanced standing. Okay. Now, this is written on our website. I'll let you read this for a moment, but this is our mission here in our program. We are committed to the promotion of human rights, social, economic, and environmental justice, and the elimination of poverty and oppression. We are going to prepare you to be competent, self-aware, ethical, generalist social workers, prepared for evidence-based practice with diverse populations. And you're going to be advocating for the well-being of all people in our shared global community. I want you to spend some time reading that and thinking about it. Think about what it means for you and your life and your values. Do the values that you have adhered to your life to this point, does that really align with our mission? And if it's not, is it because you've never given thought to it? Or are you finding that you have some diametrically oppositional opinions? This is your time to discuss those. Social work competence is about knowledge, values, and skills. You're going to get your skills in your field placement. You're getting your knowledge in your classroom. But in your classroom, through your work, you are developing honing in on those values, aligning your personal values and the profession's values together. So if you struggle with that at any point in time in the program, reach out to your professors, your advisors, okay? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about competency. There are 9 competencies that have been put forth by the Council of Social Work Education. This body is the body that actually accredits every social work program in the United States. They are saying, if you are a social worker graduating from a social work program in the US, you have demonstrated that you have mastered these competencies, okay? You're going to hear all about these in your courses. They're all over your syllabi. When you are in field, you have to do a project where you put forth evidence demonstrating that you've met these competencies. It's called an e-portfolio. Don't worry about it later, okay? So take some time to review these competencies, and then as you're going through your courses, if you are struggling to understand these competencies, be sure to ask your professor. Okay, I know it's a little small, maybe zoom in if you can. This is also on our website, but I wanted to go over the plan of study for you. I'm only going over what a full-time plan of study is. If you're part-time, please reach out to your advisor who will help you determine your course moving forward. But if you're full-time and you're starting our program in the fall, you're taking 221, which is your Intro to Generalist Practice. You're taking 301, which is your HBSE, which is Human Behavior in the Social Environment. You're taking 323, which is Diversity, Equity, and Justice. And you're taking your first practice course. This is 341. It's called Micro. Some people might refer to it as individuals, but this is the course that is teaching you interpersonal communication active listening and the generalist method. It is your practice course. You cannot move forward in your practice courses unless you pass this class first, okay? Some of you might have room for an elective. If you do, you can take it this semester. Spring semester, junior year. If you have not already passed a stats class, there is a stats class in our program for you. If you've already taken stats and passed it, you have room to take another elective. You will also take 304, which is our case management class. This is like a practice class in that it is teaching you a case management method, okay? 311, that's my favorite class. That's policy. You're going to learn 4,000 years of social welfare history. I love this course. And then you have your second major practice class. This is 342, Meso, also called groups. In this course, you are going to learn how to run a variety of different types of groups by actually running a group. So awesome. Okay, then you have your senior year. Senior year, you have a research course. You cannot take that research course, 310, unless you have passed your stats class, okay? In addition, you will be taking field seminar. It's every other week for 2 hours. And then you will actually be doing your field placement, field instruction, okay? That's only part-time. That's only 9 credits. And so a lot of students have to take electives, and there's room for that. Spring semester senior year, you take your final practice course, which is 441, which is macro practice or community practice. And in this class, you're actually doing community change, and it's a lot of fun. You'll take seminar again every other week for 2 hours, and then you'll be doing your internship. Here's what I need you to think about. 455 and 457 are the same course that go over the entire year, okay? So the people that you're in seminar with fall and the professor are the same ones you're with in spring. And again, it's part-time and there's room for electives, okay? Again, if you have questions about the plan of study, please reach out to your advisor, okay? So I'm not going to click on this link, but again, the slides will be up and the link will be there. It's the link to the student handbook. It's on Brightspace. And I just need you to be aware that there are 4 standards by which we evaluate academic performance in everything, okay? So one is your basic abilities to acquire professional skills, including how you communicate, your interpersonal skills, your cognitive or thinking skills, and your actual ability or physical ability, and that sounds weird, but your actual ability to carry out a job. 2, your mental and emotional abilities. So 1, how are you handling stress? And are you demonstrating that you're using sound judgment? 3, your professional performance skills, which are related to how you are presenting yourself. So are you demonstrating professional commitment to our values and our code of ethics? Are you engaging in professional ethical behavior? Are you demonstrating self-awareness, self-reflection, and correction when necessary? And are you meeting your ethical obligations? And then finally, your scholastic performance, which is based upon your grades, your GPA, and what you do in your classes. You can be a rock star in your classes, but you can demonstrate you can't make a phone call and you can't get your butt to the office on time, right? And if that's something that you struggle with, we're going to call, sorry about that, we're going to call it out to you and we're going to ask you to correct your behavior, okay? So please read the student handbook, and if you have questions, go over them with your advisor, okay? So next I'm going to take you to the actual website. Now, please keep in mind that by the time classes start, this website might be a little bit different, okay? So when you first, I'll tell you the quickest way to actually get to our website. Click on academics, and then at the end of that URL, just type social work, okay? And that'll get you to the launching page for the entire department. Now you'll see that there are three programs listed: social work major, online degree completion, and then the MSW. This one, you know, most of you have clicked on, and that's how you've gotten in. But I'm just going to go here because it'll take you to this. So we have the 4-year degree plan. We have information about the online degree completion, but we have this over here, undergrad resources. This is where you're going to find our student handbook. This is where you're going to find out information about field. And keep in mind, in the 221 class, you're going to actually have to apply for field. And so you'll click there. And the link is not working yet because we haven't finished building it, but it will actually take you to the field manual, the field application, okay? Information on what previous students have done is available because as we are accredited, we have assessment data, and so our students rock. And then I don't think there's anything else really super important right now, but that's where you find the handbook, and I need you to read it, okay? And right now, as I make this video, it's from last year, but it will be updated for the start of the semester, okay? One last thing about our program, I want to show you our faculty and staff pages. So this is me. A lot of you will have some adjuncts as well, but I think a lot of you have, let's see, you probably have Dr. Wood for a lot of your online stuff as well. So this is Dr. Wood down here. And I don't see pictures right now of our current adjuncts for 341. But some of you are lucky enough to be taking 341 with former Brockport students who are amazing. So excited. Okay. So this is how you find faculty. And again, anything you need is right here on the social work website. Okay. I think that's all I really wanted to go over right now about the program. If you have any other questions about the program, start with your advisor. If you get nowhere with your advisor, reach out to me. That's it. Have a great day.